What's good, YouTube? It's Cuddleofdeath here. Hey, happy day, woo! And this is really weird for me to do. We have some Pokemon Go content here. Not only am I back trying to actually upload videos outside of, oh, look at me, I'm streaming, but I've actually been getting back into Pokemon Go. I've been playing it for quite some time now, and I have quite a bit to talk about in a little bit of time here. The first little bit here that we have is actually from our last community day, and I'm so stupid I forgot to turn off the notifications at the top. I learned how to do that later. But of course I'm not here alone. I'm here with...
Yo, what up? It's Tubbsy.
It's Tubbsy.
It's Tubbsy.
It's Tubbsy and he back. But yeah, I've been back into Pokemon Go and we've been like fiending and just playing Pokemon Go like crazy. And I know it's not like during like the big boom craze of whenever Pokemon Go was popular, and I don't care. Yeah. We've been having a lot of fun with it. So I'm here to talk about a bit of that stuff too. And as this video is being uploaded, it's actually on the 18th, and tomorrow is the Charmander Community Day, which I'm also really excited for. In this particular clip, we actually went to a park. You see, you got my first little shiny Mareep there. I think it was my first, I can't remember, but I caught a few of those little motherfuckers. But it was really, really fun. And one of my favorite things, I think, during the whole community day thing was the age range of people that were playing. I'm not gonna lie, we barely saw any like little kids. I'm talking about under teenage kids. We barely saw them. We saw the majority of people that look like our age, and we saw some older people. We even saw some people like maybe in their 60s and 70s, and we overheard them having a conversation talking about like owning gyms and getting gold in a gym, and I thought that that was really cool.
Yeah.
So
even if there were kids, they like it was their parents playing and not them.
Yeah, but some of these people, these older people, and like I said, 60s and 70s, it was really cool because, you know, like I said, I think they were playing for themselves. As you guys can see there, I got a shiny Murkrow. Let me tell you guys real quick, as the other clips keep rolling on. It was crazy. Tubbsy, actually, you have 2 shiny Murkrows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he caught both of his fucking shiny Murkrows in our yard, and I caught mine downtown in the city that I live in. So it was crazy that I finally got one. I also ended up getting the shiny Makuhita from the little fighting event, which was pretty cool.
I think I've caught all my shinies at home. I don't think I've caught a single one out and about.
You know what was interesting about this Makuhita though? We were like out on, it was like maybe the last day, or maybe the day before the last day for the fighting event. And I was like, you know, it'd be really funny, you know, I'm still trying to look for the shiny Makuhita, and literally right after I said that, or in the middle of me saying that, I clicked on a Makuhita while I was downtown, and boom, it was shiny, so it was pretty cool. And this shiny Metatite here is actually one that I caught in our yard, so I finally caught one in our yard, and I was like freaking out over it. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, we have a shiny nest here.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But moving on to the next bit here, we've been participating in a lot of raids. I'm not even kidding, guys. If I went back through all of my footage, I even recorded like little crappy 2-star raids and stuff like that just because I got so excited. Obviously, I live in the US, so now we have Latias out here, but I figured I'd include some footage of whenever Latios was here. And there's some really interesting stuff that happened during these raids. First of all, whenever I was trying to catch Latios, I could barely catch any. Tubbsy has so many more than me. And I was getting so frustrated. So if you see throws from the left like that, that's him throwing, not me. I throw from the right. And
I didn't even realize we throw it from a different angle.
Yeah, you literally are a left thrower and I'm a right thrower. Are you guys left throwers or right throwers if you still play? A lot of people don't play, but a lot of people do, so let me know. If not, get back into it right now. It's the perfect time. Because go get your shiny Charmander.
Yeah, he doesn't like shiny Charizard.
I know, for real.
Such a good looking Pokemon.
Also, I'm sorry if I'm really sniffly, guys. My allergies have been so bad this season. I don't know what the heck's up with the pollen, but yeah, I ended up with several Latios, and still working on getting a bunch of Latias. I don't really know if they're that great for anything. I know that they're a bit more defensive than Latios. Latios is a bit more offensive. But just to give you guys like an update on like levels and stuff, I think I'm almost level 31 right now. And we don't play like super active like every single day, like going out a lot. There were days that we were going out for hours and hours upon every day. And do you know what level you are?
I think I'm almost I'm like halfway into 33.
That's crazy. I want to get to level...
You caught up really fast.
I know. I'm trying to hit that level 40.
But the XP ramps up really hard whenever you get into the 30s.
Yeah. Oh my god. And outside of that, there was one day, I'm sure you guys have seen tweets about it, or maybe you were playing Pokemon Go during that day, but there was literally one day where I guess someone who worked at Niantic flipped their own switch there at Pokemon Go, and the funniest thing happened, and I'm kind of salty about it because it was only like for a one-day thing, and I don't even know if people in Europe got to participate in it, but I wasn't around for like the second gen raid bosses, like, and I'm referring to the legendary raid bosses like Ho-Oh and Lugia. And if you guys don't know, Ho-Oh is my favorite like legendary and my favorite shiny and all that. But what someone at Niantic actually did, are you seeing left throws? Yeah.
And I'm missing a lot.
Yeah, that's him. That's all him. But yeah, someone at Niantic flipped the switch and somehow ended up re-releasing Lugia for the few hours that were available during that day. I think by the time that it was released in Europe, it was like really late, and I think maybe raids have already stopped there. I'm not sure. You guys can confirm or deny. But we had some Lugias popping up here, and I remember we weren't really going to go out that day, and I was reading our chat. So we use like a Facebook group chat for our Pokemon Go groups. I hate Facebook, but it's working out for our Pokemon Go groups, and someone in there was like, there's a Lugia hatching at insert location here. This is really weird. Do you guys want to do it? And of course we were like, yeah, we want to do it. So we went out there and we met up. I can't even remember how many people we had, like maybe 11, maybe 13 accounts trying to do Lugia. You can see it right here. And I was really hoping that I was going to catch it. Even just one of us catching it would have been great, but I really wanted it because look at him, he's real cute. Plus someone in our thing has like a pink belly Lugia there, the shiny one. He's screaming for help. He got the lights knocked out of him. But unfortunately, and I actually really cut out most of the throws in this footage, I only had 8 balls because we're Team Valor. We're Team Valor. And Team Instinct wrecked this guy. So was trying to catch him, had a bunch of chances to try to catch him. He was weather boosted, which is another thing as well. Didn't work out. I'm just going to say that straight up. So frustrating. So I didn't want to leave in all of those dead throws where we didn't catch him. So as you can see, I cut to our last ball here. Oh, is this a left throw? This is going to be a left throw because I handed it to you.
Nah.
No, it was a right throw. No, you handed it back to me. That's what it was. We had 2 balls.
For the very last throw, yeah. Because I honestly missed a couple.
Yeah. And so for our very last thing, which is still like at least super sped because it was really long, we were going into like a bigger city to try to get EX raid passes because we saw everyone else getting them, and we were like, I wonder if we even have a chance. So we were going up here to these places that, again, we were using Facebook groups that were showing like where people were getting their EX raid passes, and we were participating in like little raids there because, you know, we've been doing the reading and the researching and everything in hopes that we would get an EX raid pass. So I think it was, you know what it was? It was, we'd already done our raids there, and a few days passed by, and we actually went fishing. We got our freaking fishing licenses. And by the way, I got sunburnt. I think Tubbsy's neck got sunburned too. And we were heading back into town because I do not get service out by the lake at all. It's really bad. And I remember heading back into town, and I was looking at our phones, and we got the EX raid invite. At least I was looking at Tubbsy's phone because he drives and I do the Pokemon Go stuff. So I was looking at Tubbsy's phone, and this thing popped up saying that we got an EX raid pass for the place that we've been trying to get an EX raid pass at. And I was like, oh my god, you got an EX raid pass. Because I didn't think we were both going to get it, and that was perfectly fine and all. But he ended up getting an EX raid pass, and I was like, I wonder if I got one. So I booted up my phone, and his was almost pretty much instant for it to pop up. And mine was just kind of sitting there for a little bit. And it finally popped up. I got an EX raid pass. So we ended up taking out our first Mewtwo. We were really worried that not enough people were going to show up because we actually live in a small town, and this area is actually, the place we went for an EX raid pass is a bit bigger. But we were just really worried because we were like, we really want Mewtwo. And as you can see, Team Valor took over this. Oh, another thing I forgot to talk about. We arrived like 30 minutes early. Because we were just like, we're trying to get the best spot in the lot. It was at a freaking Sprint store. And most Sprint stores are sponsored, I think. They're sponsored locations. And right before, I think we had taken the gym. No, it was actually already Team Valor. But we put Pokemon in there. And there was this guy that pulled up, and we didn't know who it was yet, that would not stop trying to take the gym. So we literally held him off for like 30 minutes. And we had to get out of the car and everything just so people would know when to start the raid. We're kind of like introverts, you know, don't want to get out of the car. But we did it anyways, and it was good. But there was this guy, and he knew it was us that kept him from taking the gym, and we had a good laugh about that. But from my experience so far, getting back into Pokemon Go has been really, really good. Again, age ranges, community day is really fun. We actually try to make like little stickers, like decals for like people's cars and stuff now too, for things like community day, like a little at-home business. And that's been pretty fun. But it's been like, I don't know, it's just interesting now to see Pokemon Go like bringing people together. But that brings me to the point of where it's like I've been kind of inspired to, obviously I've been getting back into streaming, but try to upload again. And I want to talk about the new Pokemon game leaks and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys are interested in it. The Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. There's so much stuff out there for it. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you think?
Oh, I think it sounds awesome.
It sounds awesome, and
yeah.
You know what? I'm happy to be back.
I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, we're actually really happy to be back. We might do some vlogs in the future. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to figure it out.
We'll get that stuff figured out, and I would like to say a big thank you all for coming out and watching the video. Do you still play Pokemon Go? Do you not play Pokemon Go anymore? Are you going to get back into Pokemon Go, or do you just freaking hate it? And we'll probably be uploading some more Pokemon Go content and other stuff in the future. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!